In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about moving your projects around, moving your builds around, and how to submit projects and builds successfully. So I just have this project I had been working on in other videos. It's a very simple project. All it is a quit button that when you click on it, it quits out of the application. But everything in this video pertains to any kind of project or build that you're going to be creating. Some of this is specific to SGD 113, but as far as saving projects and builds, moving them around and submitting them, it should be similar in all of your SGD classes. So first of all, let's take a look at where this project and build is. If you're working on an SGD computer, you should have them on your D drive. Never work on your C drive or your desktop. Always work in the root of your D. But unfortunately, the computer I'm doing this demo on does not have a D drive. So we'll pretend that this is the D drive. I have my project here, and it's called Quit Button. And the thing with this project is it's not like it's a specific file in here. So like if I try to go in, and if I were to, for instance, give someone like that UI controller script, that's not the project. The scene file is not the project. The project is this entire folder. We need everything in here. We don't need like one or two random things. If we don't have everything, this doesn't work. And if you submit this wrong, it's possible you might get a 0 for the project that you're trying to submit. Or if you're trying to take this home to work on, it's possible that you're going to leave important things behind and you're going to have to start over again. So this whole folder here is my project. In the previous video, I made a whole new a whole new folder to do my build, and that's what this is. The build isn't just the executable. The build is everything in this folder. So we need all of these objects, all of these files, all of these folders in here in order for the build to work. Again, if you try to give just one of these things to somebody, it's not going to work. And if part of your project is to submit a working build and you just submit one of these random files, you might get a 0 for it. So this is a very important video to pay attention to. In order to submit to Blackboard, you're going to have to zip these up. And it's just a good habit to get into anyway, of zipping up your projects and your builds to move them around, like to say a flash drive or to a cloud device. Because when we zip these, it creates just a single folder, a single file for your project and a single file for your build. So it's going to transfer a lot faster, and you're going to make sure that you don't leave any little files behind. So when you're done for the day and you want to transfer this, or if you want to submit it, the first thing you should do is exit out of any Unity, Visual Studio, or builds that you have open. This way you can make sure that everything was saved correctly and you're not going to run into any problems when you zip. When you zip, you should just zip the folder. Do not go in and highlight a bunch of stuff and try to zip it. Zip the actual folder. This way you know that you didn't accidentally, what if you're going fast and you miss a folder or you miss a file. It also extracts better on the other end this way to zip the entire folder rather than trying to go in, highlight things, and zip them. So first I'm going to zip up my project, and this is my project, this quit button. I'm going to right click, I'm going to send to compressed, and this is the, and that's fine. I think it should pop it up on the D drive normally. I don't know why it's not letting me zip to my C, but it's not a big deal. If at home you want to install 7-zip, I recommend it, but Windows does have a built-in zipping program. Personally, I use 7-zip. It works a little bit faster than what they have there, and I'll show that with the build. So I zipped my project. That's this right here. Next, I'm going to zip the whole build. Don't go in and highlight and try to zip. Zip the actual folder itself. So I'm going to right click And if you don't have it installed, you can just send to compressed. But I do prefer 7-zip. It goes faster. So if you do, and you can just Google 7-zip and find it, it's free. It's a little bit different. It's an add to archive. And you do want to make sure that if you do use 7-zip, that you choose a zip format. Don't do 7z, because that's like specific to the program. We always want to do a zip. And once we do that, we click OK. And it's having an issue because why will this not zip on? Let's just do it this way. Let me move this to desktop real quick. Add to archive and click OK. It's a little bit different, but in my experience, it zips faster with 7-zip. But if you don't want to install it, that's fine. Just right click, send to compressed, and it'll do it for you. So now I have 2 zips. I have my quit button zip, which is my project, and my quit button zip build, which is my build. This would then be a lot easier to drag and drop on a flash drive. It's going to go a lot faster to transfer it. Trust me, I've tested it out. It does go faster. It's going to be a lot faster to upload to a cloud, like the OneDrive if you need to take it home with you, or if you're trying to upload to your OneDrive to bring to school. And this is what you need to do in order to submit it to Blackboard. You would then go to Blackboard. And once you're in your Blackboard class, you could then locate where your project is. The way SGD classes tend to be, we always have our projects in our drop boxes if you can't find it in the lesson. So you can locate your project, click on the project name, and then it's going to be down here to attach your file. You can browse your computer, or you can just drag and drop. You 100% do need to zip your files to submit to Blackboard. The reason is because you can't submit just folders. Like we can't select like this quit button build. We try to open it, it doesn't let us. And remember that we do need all of those folders in there. So we can't submit them this way. You have to zip them in order to submit them. I can then select my 2 zips. Hopefully it won't take too long to upload. These are really small. And then when those are in there, you just click your submit to submit your project, and that's it. And that is it as far as this little mini series of Unity videos go. So again, zip your stuff. Close out of any programs that you're using with it, like Unity or Visual Studio, before you try to zip. Zip the whole folder, not the files in it. That's going to be a better workflow. When you go home and want to unzip them, you can just do a right click and you can just do an extract all. And the nice thing about that is if you did zip the folder, it's going to actually extract it to a folder named that. So we extract it, and we then have it, a nice new folder right where we extracted it to with all our data in there. And you do need to extract your data before you can run your builds and before you can work on your project again. Don't try to work out of a zipped folder. It doesn't work.